I almost forgot, and I almost let that run another time.
Oh,
So that's
well,
the
it's
kind
a
of show.
song so nice you play it thrice.
That's the kind of show it's going to be today.
Oh yeah,
It's getting used to the new the look on the interface here. It's dark,
yeah.
dark mode.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the dark mode, but what are you watching back there?
That is commercials right now, but it is on AMC. They are showing the Rocky Balboa movie.
Okay.
You know which one that is?
Yo, Adrian!
That's the one where he comes out of retirement to fight Mason Dixon because they do a video game simulation.
Okay, I've never seen that one.
Okay, so Rocky's retired. He's doing his own thing. He's running his restaurant, I think, at this
Chilling,
point.
playing shuffleboard.
Yeah, he's doing the damn thing, living his best life. And then, the Sports Center equivalent on the show, they did a simulation because there was a new boxing game coming out, and the champ at the time, Mason Dixon, the hottest thing around, he's like the Floyd Mayweather,
Okay.
They did a simulation of him versus Rocky Balboa, and if I'm not mistaken, Rocky Balboa won in the simulation. So then that's how they kind of got this fight.
That upset Mr. Dixon.
It did. Mason Dixon thought that they crossed the line. See what I did there?
Yeah,
crossed the line. And then so the whole movie is about Rocky training for this, like completely the underdog. Yeah. After this, Godzilla's on.
Sounds kind of silly.
Yeah. Hey,
you beat me in a video game simulation. That's like if Wayne Gretzky's like, oh my gosh, Sidney Crosby beat me in NHL game. I'm gonna come back and get him.
Wow, Gretzky's too busy at hanging out with his besties.
You mentioned that because you're wearing your hockey jersey today.
Well, the Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they staved off elimination last night.
Yes, they did.
They won Game 6. Game 7 is Sunday. So, Game 7 is Sunday. I've got my Gary Roberts number 7 jersey on.
Ooh.
And that's, for Game 7.
There you go. So, there you go.
Fingers crossed.
It's a big day for Game 7s. The Thunder and Nuggets play as well on Sunday. It's basketball, but they're in a Game 7. So tomorrow, if you're a sports fan, you're a Game 7 fan, because every sports fan loves a good old Game 7, even though they're nerve-wracking for the teams playing. So you should be set tomorrow. Plus GCW's tomorrow too.
Well, I was asking my dad because I knew the Timberwolves had already advanced.
Yep.
And I said, I know it's the Pacers and the Knicks.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You're happy about both those, aren't you?
I'm only happy. I'll explain why I'm happy that it's the Pacers and Knicks. Because I'm from Indiana, and I have I don't follow the Pacers per se. I'm a Rockets fan by trade, but it's cool to see Indiana get some love. Halliburton's an awesome dude. And listen, it's great for content purposes over on my other show if Boston lost that series. That's all I'm going to say.
Boston has won enough things in the past.
So, listen, do I feel bad for Jason Tatum? 100%. Do I feel bad for the city of Boston that Jason Tatum got injured? Yes. But it would have it makes for better content when JPJ gets mad.
So. See, I started nodding my head no about feeling bad because I thought you'd say, do you feel bad about the city of Boston? And I was going to be like, no, because
if you lose a superstar at the top 5 player in the league, sucks. I feel bad for, and they're going to lose him for next year as well. Hello, Maria. Hello, David. Bryce is in the house. How's it going? If you're in the house, feel free to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this link out to your friends. Let's get this party started. But yes, we are here to talk about the world of independent wrestling. This is for exposure.
First off, we are getting a rematch of, was it the 94 finals with the Pacers, or conference finals with the Pacers and Knicks?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, where Reggie Miller just destroyed the Knicks.
Yeah. We're also getting a rematch of Tyrese Halliburton and Jay LeBrunson, who mixed it up in a WWE ring not too long ago, last summer. So that's always fun.
So I want all the storylines, like get Spike Lee there.
Yep, he'll be there for sure.
You best be trotting out Reggie Miller.
Oh yeah, that's it. There's a very fun rivalry between the Pacers and the Knicks. So this should be a good series. It'll be a good time.
Okay, we'll talk about wrestling right away, but I have one more thing to mention about basketball. Okay. Did you ever read Scottie Pippen's book?
I did not read Scottie Pippen's book.
Because apparently there's like they talk about his, the matchup with the Jazz. And I guess there was a game on a Sunday, and Scottie Pippen is like a next level trash talker. Yeah. So the game's on a Sunday. We're in the finals, games on a Sunday. Karl Malone, the mailman, he's at the free throw line, getting ready. Goes up for a shot. You know what Scottie Pippen says to him? The mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays.
Oh,
misses the shots.
That's awesome.
Tell me that's not a good line.
I think I've heard that before, but that is awesome. Yeah, the old Karl Malone, the old mailman. We have Fernando in the house saying "Go Bulls." Yeah, well, they went somewhere this year, but hopefully they'll get it figured out.
Oh,
the Bulls are. I can talk about NBA forever, but they're a frustrating team who likes to just operate in the middle of the pack for some reason. They just don't want to blow it up. I don't know why, but I digress. Thanks for hanging out with us today. What's on the old docket there, Blair Pacheco?
Well, let's start off with some local stuff. We'll talk some LP dubs.
Your local or my local?
LP dubs to start.
Yeah, some new matches were announced.
A couple new matches announced. We'll run through those real quick.
It's gonna be May.
You're gonna see Rich King versus Christian Star, and Rich King. I mean, this Rich King, I think, is on another level. I had the chance to talk to him. He digresses with what I was saying. He nothing's changed in his mind. Yeah, I see it, and I'm thinking Rich King's going to the next level soon. So he's going to be going one-on-one with Christian Star.
Yeah, he's definitely another level's a nice way to put it. He's definitely a vibe right now, and he's got a plan, and it sounds like he's going to execute. Christian Star, I'm super excited for. We've seen him in LPW a couple of times now, and I really just kind of dig his style and his look and his vibe. So I'm interested to see. This would be a huge win for Christian Star if he could beat a day one LPW guy as decorated as Rich King.
Yeah, I'm big on Christian Star. I think there's so much potential there. Like, I think, dude, he's gonna have a great showing here, and I mean, who knows? He could shock everyone,
shock the world.
And
could you imagine unhinged Rich King after losing that?
Ooh. So we got that one. We also announced. There we go. Mars the Specialist versus Elliot Tyler.
Our good friends. These are two of our good buddies, Mars and Elliot. I don't know what to do here.
I'm torn with this.
But hey, this could be a match to prove worthy of another title shot here. These two are definitely doing the damn thing. So,
like
the darn thing.
I love both these guys. Love Mars. Love Elliot. Great guys. I don't know what's going to happen though, because Mars has got a lot going on right now. He's got one of his best friends.
Yep.
Teaming with T.Y. Jackson on the show.
Yep.
I'm wondering if maybe Mars's head isn't fully into this match. Like,
listen,
we're gonna preview all this next week, but
be careful of what you say about Mars, because he will take it for. We talked about that last night on the LPW4 rewatch. I mentioned the whole when I said he should maybe take it easy that 1 week where he had the championship match back to back.
Yeah, I know
he didn't like that. So be careful what you say, Blair.
But
Mars does have some things to think about. LPW's landscape is changing. It's evolving. Friends are now foes, and foes are now friends, and everything kind of got out of whack with the Zoe Sager injury. Everybody's kind of trying to scramble for that spot again. Stephen Crow now has it, but that does, for how long? Mrs. Pluggo's in the chat. She has my number one spot forever. She's my tribal cheeks. I acknowledge her.
Scheme, plot. She's coming for that number one
spot.
This is
Pluggo's always at the number one spot. She's definitely gonna divorce me after she sees this movie.
Mrs. Pluggo probably loves Ludacris, so I don't.
She probably does. She does. Yeah. But
Luda.
She be bumping. She'd be bumping some jams up there sometimes, and you're just like, huh? She's so gangster, Mrs. Pluggo.
So, like, we will do a full run through of LPW 37 next week.
Stay tuned at For Exposure Pod for details on times.
We'll let you know. But I didn't want to put this in tidbits because it's a nice little segue. But where is it? Our boy Mars, he's heading out east soon.
Yes,
end of the month. He's going to be there at there. You see
there, I got it.
Yeah. So he's heading out
pro
to
wrestling.
Ontario.
As I say, Pro Wrestling Ontario. That's where he's going to be for who knocks, the one who knocks.
Facing off against Crystal Moon, Gabriel Fuerza in a triple threat match. So hey, our boy Mars heading out east.
Can you leave that graphic up for a second? Look at Mars. Look at this. Look at that smolder, dude. Look at the smolder on Mars's graphic there.
Look at all three of their smolders.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of like, hey, we're ready to do this.
Like, whoa.
But Mars particularly, he's just like an extra smoldery here.
He's looking at you from across the bar, and he's like, "Hey, I like your vibe."
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And I'm like, "Hey, I don't drink, but we can hang." Hey, I let Mars the specialist take me home.
We can crush some peanuts,
Yeah,
pretzels.
There you go.
Let's hang out.
Go back and watch some old ECW.
Yeah, there you go. That always works.
There you go.
Maple Leaf Pro, they had their show last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They also crowned a new heavyweight champion, and that man is none other than Josh Alexander.
Boom.
He is the MLP Canadian champion.
Yes, he is outlasting 20 other people in the Battle Royal or the Gauntlet. Was it the Gauntlet?
It was the Gauntlet.
It was the Gauntlet. I don't know why I said battle. 20-man Battle Royal just rolls off the tongue a lot better.
It does. It sounds better. So, did you check out any of it?
I haven't seen the full Gauntlet match yet, but I did check out Giselle Shaw as the new women's MLP champion, Maple Leaf Pro champion. Shout out to Giselle Shaw. That match was awesome. She deserves it. She's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So
I have to make my way through the rest of the card still, but
it looked like a fun show. I caught a little bit of the MLW show. Yeah. I thought it was way too quiet in that arena when I was watching. Like, maybe the audio was not perfect, but it sounded quiet.
Oh no! Yeah, well, it could be.
I don't like when that's one of your takeaways from watching a show.
Because it's too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like quiet shows?
No, I need to hear the crowd. I need the excitement, the fun.
Oh,
so that's what I need.
You need the ruckus.
I do. So Josh Alexander, new MLP Canadian champion. You love it. I mean, especially he's been crushing it in AEW lately. He's getting a big spot there. Yep. Him and Speedball. So
yes, Speedball. I talked about it last night. Has had one of the most fun promo that said his knowledge of martial art and his love for cats. Who could stop Speedball Mike Bailey? And I was like, all right. They gave Speedball a great little promo package there on social medias.
they're having fun, and I think Speedball's having fun too.
Yeah, that's all that matters. As long as they're having fun, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So,
not so fun, and I mentioned ECW. We lost Sabu this week. Blair and sad man, one of the legends of the game. Yeah, I mean, from people had nothing but great things to say about Sabu and the stories that were coming out, like losing somebody who he really was an innovator with his style, with his wrestling, and he influenced a whole generation of wrestlers. It's really sad, just what had happened, and condolences to the family, and just so much love for Sabu. I mean, absolutely changed the game, dude. He was so unique. You couldn't help but watch. And then every time the lights would go dark, there was always that running joke: "Is it Sabu?" On any promotion. So yes, condolences to the family. We lost a legend this week, and the discourse around that is really sad. That's what people are clinging to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into all of that, but GCW and Joey Janela are not at fault for that.
No, it's yeah, I don't want to comment too much on that, especially when it's something like this where, you know, a life has been lost and right now it's all just hearsay and speculation.
Yeah, we should just be celebrating all of the great things that Sabu did and stop focusing so much on some negative stuff that people are just floating out there.
No, I mean, we are an independent wrestling podcast. Sabu has wrestled throughout the independents.
Yep.
Actually, somebody had, I think it was The Ringer, put up a thread of like great Sabu matches you've probably never seen. And there's some good independent stuff on there. There's like one match with the Lightning Kid, the former 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah.
There's, I think, one with somebody else had shared with me a match of him and Air Styles. I think it's Air Paris. Sorry,
Air Paris.
Air Paris. You know, and that's a name, you know, people may not recognize or haven't heard in a while, but like very influential in the early 2000s. So, you know, he did do a lot of independent stuff. But I'll ask you, do you have any, you know, Sabu matches that you think fondly of, whether it's major promotions, independents?
Oh, I don't have like particular like Sabu match. I just remember always when I would, because when that ECW was hitting back in the day, I was a little younger, right? So I didn't necessarily dive as deep into it as I do today, but you could always just remember him being willing to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he would do like any spot, every time he would do that spot where he would jump on the top rope and then go into the crowd, it was just nuts to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy is absolutely insane. And it was like, he was always a gamer, and it just seemed like it just seemed like, and I don't know because I'm not an insider, it just seemed like he would never say no to any spot.
Mhm.
For better or for worse, he was like, it's for the good of the company. And when he got all wrapped up in that barbed wire, when they had to like cut it off of him during that barbed wire match, who was that with? Was that Funk, right?
Yes, I think it was Terry Funk.
Him and Funk, and he got all, because he had that, it just, oh God, I remember that. It's just, so yeah, I don't have like I can't say like, oh, Sabu versus blah, blah, blah at this and that match. It's just this whole career, you just never could look away.
Mhm. That's fair.
For me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wild, dude. I always look at that stuff and I go, you know what? Better man than I am. I don't know if I could ever, because I get squeamish for like when I have to get a shot at like the doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll just dive in that barbed wire. No problem.
Yeah. Zero fucks. He was in there like swimwear.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Oh yeah. Cool. Okay. We have got some GCW to preview. We've got Deadlock Pro. And I think Wrestling Revolver. So we'll kick things off with some GCW. We'll run through the card. 2 shows this weekend. They're back to the 2 shows a weekend.
Yes, sir.
And I'm into it. There's some fun matches for tonight's show. We'll kick things off. You're going to see one called Manders versus Jonathan Gresham. Yeah, I'd say like Manders, the past little bit, like I've become a huge fan. I'm really into Manders and what he's doing.
He's doing some good stuff. He's really hitting a stride now that he's kind of doing his own thing again. And he's not really, not that I didn't love it, but he's not, doing the whole with Effie and the Mance Warner stuff and all that. He was really tied into that last year. Now he's kind of doing his own thing, which I think has been awesome for him.
Mm-hmm. And I'm liking just the possibilities with him, like a singles run, maybe get back up to that, that main event level.
Oh, dude, somebody's bloody.
I'm into it. That's probably Rocky.
Yeah.
See, you're into this now. You're going to check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then Jonathan Gresham's just awesome. So
yeah,
what can we say that we haven't already said about the octopus?
Do you think that, Gresham's still doing the indies. He's doing this thing. Do you think now that Jordan Grace has signed with WWE, do you think we see Gresham eventually go there? Or do you think that's
maybe? I know he was, there was one point he was tied to AEW and that just didn't work out. And then I'm not sure why he hasn't gone to WWE or given that a shot. I don't know if it's them or him, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think he would fit in if you gave him a quick NXT run. I think he'd fit in down there right now with what they've got going on, and they definitely could use another like main event player to kind of solidify that roster. But yeah, I think he just likes doing his own thing right now, and he's just out there killing it. I never know with that, you know. I never know if it's the major company or the wrestler themselves just going like, I'm good doing this.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see what else we got. We've got the Koger brothers versus Joey Janela and Mr. Danger. I know you're a big Mr. Danger fan.
I thought we were big Mr. Danger fans. What happened?
Well, I am, but I know
what
you
happened,
are.
Bro? Did I miss the memo? It's just me now?
I know you are. I was just giving you a chance to hype up Mr. Danger.
Dude, if you haven't seen Mr. Danger wrestle, he does some really awesome spots. Joey Janela, I think everybody's familiar with Joey. He does some crazy things. And then the Koger brothers do. I just like the vibe that they give, like especially in the Atticus. I'm a huge fan. This is my match right here.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Takarawa World. Yes, this is a live stream. And yes, Dakota Kai's non-compete ends July 31st. I mean, she could end up at AEW, but that also means she could be doing some independent wrestling. And I am excited for a Dakota Kai independent wrestling run. Shout out to Caitlin Conlon saying good morning. Good morning to you. New Music Inferno's in the house. We got everybody's popping in today, chatting some wrestling with us. We appreciate it. We're mainly focused independently today, but hey, we don't mind. You say whatever you want in the chat, as long as it's within reason and you're nice and respectful.
Hell yeah. Okay, this next one, I was super hyped when it got announced because I'm a big fan of this guy. A few years ago, he wrestled a show in Winnipeg that I was a part of.
Yeah,
and just the nicest dude. Had a chance to talk to him on my podcast. O'Shea Edwards, he's going to be in GCW facing off with Ken Dixon. O'Shea Edwards is a bad man, but man, can he go? Yes. He is one solid dude.
Yes, that's gonna be some fun times right there. Yeah, O'Shea's good, dude. I like that. I don't know much about Ken Dixon though, but hopefully he's ready to roll today because O'Shea Edwards is always ready. He's not Matt Cardona, but he's always ready.
Yeah, he was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the last graduates of the ROH dojo.
Oh,
I'm
very fun.
Fairly certain.
Yeah, fun tidbit there. New Music Inferno said he wore his Atticus Koger shirt yesterday. Cool. Hey, oh yeah, dude. I like what they do.
Mm-hmm. We've got Mayu Yamashita versus Tony Deppen.
Yes, sir. I love my. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm high on both these guys. I love them both.
Yeah, I love Mayu Yamashita. She's coming off some big time stuff, and then Tony Deppen. He's Tony Deppen, man. He doesn't miss. Like he knows his lane. He stays in his lane. He had a really good match last week at JCW's Mayflowers. Mm-hmm. He always is a very. If I say reliable hand, that feels like a shot. It's not. It's a guy that you just know. You plug him in, and he can have a match with anybody. And Mayu Yamashita will be no different. We are at 11 likes. Can we get 4 more and get to 15 before the show is out? Boris is in the house. Our brother from another mother. Big bad Boris.
Boris is back with Saturday Night Love tonight.
Yeah. He is going to do a lot deep dive and a tribute to Sabu on Saturday Night Love over on Twitch. So he will do more justice than we were doing with our little whips about Sabu. He's going to go into watching some of his favorite matches and talk about the legend that was Sabu. So you'll definitely want to check that out.
Maybe Boris will queue up that match with the Lightning Kid or the one with Air Paris. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. So, or the one that I said where he got stuck in the barbed wire.
Or the match with Terry Funk. Who knows? Yeah. So, pardon me. All right. Like with Tony Deppen, he's somebody who gets a match and he's consistent. He always delivers, whatever you need from him, that he's going to bring it. And I think that is something that is, you need that in wrestling today.
I think it's something that is underrated, like especially if like a wrestling promotion like that, you can just go, you know what, we can put anybody with Deppen and we know it's going to be a solid match and he's going to do right by them. Like he may not be, a world-renowned superstar, but if you're an independent wrestling fan, the name Tony Deppen and when he's on the card, it's going to be a show.
So we also have Marcus Mathers versus Alan Angels. That should be a very fun match.
definitely should be. A new and rejuvenated Alan Angel's coming off of his TNA days, and the WWID Marcus Mathers. Both of them are going to want to prove themselves, and both of those gentlemen, if I was a betting man right now, might end up on some Independent Wrestler of the Year lists by the end of it. So that'll be a good time.
We also have Alec Price and Jordan Oliver versus Bang and Matthews.
Yeah,
dude. Tag Team Championship.
This is my vibe right here.
Oh yeah.
Alec Price and Jordan Oliver together, it's working. I mean, obviously, we all feel bad for Cole Radrick and hope that he's on a speedy recovery to health. But slotting in Jordan Oliver and Alec Price is great. And then Bang and Matthews is just one of my favorite tag teams on the independent wrestling scene.
We've also got Effie versus Ruckus. When I was looking on the GCW Twitter page, and they'll always do like a post with all the matches, like just the last names, Effie versus Ruckus,
Yeah.
And I guess I read it too quickly, and I thought it said Darius Rucker, and I'm like, why the fuck is Darius Rucker? Why is Hootie at the GCW show?
Why not?
Are the rest of the Blowfish going to be there?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Like a Cage of Survival.
And no word of a lie, I love Hootie and the Blowfish. They've got some banger songs. So.
Hold my hand.
I want to love you the best that I can.
It's Blair Pacheco and the Blowfish. I'm the Blowfish. Listen, I wouldn't be shocked if GCW signed Hootie and the Blowfish, because I was going to say, and we'll probably talk a little deeper at Tidbits. I'd imagine some of them made Tidbits, but GCW is making some big moves this summer. Elena Black is going to be there, formerly known as Cora Jade. Like, they're making some moves. Like, some of these shows coming up are like, oh man, like must-see TV. So stay tuned.
It's like you're getting Seinfeld and the whole thing, NBC must-see TV. That's
right. It's Seinfeld and Friends back-to-back Thursday nights at 8 p.m.
And last but not least for tonight, you will see Jimmy Lloyd versus Greg Excellent.
There you go. I don't know much about Greg Excellent there, but I do love me some Jimmy Lloyd. So that'll be a match I'll check out so I can get familiar with some Greg Excellent. Hopefully he is, in fact, excellent.
Hopefully. So you mentioned Tidbits. I think that is a perfect segue. We could jump into Tidbits right now if you're feeling it.
I'm always, if you're feeling this, feeling it. Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, it's Blairs Tidbits.
Tidbits. Tidbits. Tidbits. Blairs Tidbits. Blair. Beep boop bop. Tidbits.
All right. So Cynthia.
Jesus died for our Cynthias.
You mentioned Priscilla Kelly. Well, she will be at.
I mentioned Elena Black because I actually blanked on Priscilla Kelly. I completely spaced her name, but yes, the former Gigi Dolan, Priscilla Kelly, back on the Indies, dude. This is going to be something.
July 11th in Dallas. That weekend is also All In weekend. So who knows?
And Evolution weekend now as well.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I know what they're doing, but that's a different topic for a different show. But Priscilla Kelly, for those that don't remember, when she signed with WWE, I was one that was like, that's a weird signing, because the way she wrestled in the Indies, she was kind of known for some of the more like, I don't want to say gross spots, but the spots that were shock and awe spots. That's the word I'm looking for. She was known for those type of matches. And I was like, how is she going to fit in WWE? She did a great job. She's back on the Indies. So, she's going to bring Priscilla Kelly back to, the fullest. So she's must-see TV.
Yeah, I'm curious, just like always, getting back into the Indies after a WWE run, what Matt Cardona's like the blueprint for it, Are you going that route, or are you just kind of going, name value, which either way, hey, whatever you want to do, it's going to be as good as you make it. So I'm hoping we see a rejuvenated Priscilla Kelly who's out there and just wants to kick ass and do the damn thing.
Yeah, no, and I think you're going to see that with Priscilla Kelly. I think you're going to see a lot more this go around of people that are going to just try to really reinvent themselves. The landscape of wrestling has definitely changed where it's like you can go out there and do your thing and find success in either way you go about it. So I know Priscilla Kelly's going to be itched to do some creative things because she was very creative in the indies before she signed, and then of course she did the WWE thing, which no slight at that. There's nothing wrong with that, but I know she's going to definitely be itching to go and be doing some things that she probably pitched to Shawn Michaels, and he's like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
So actually Priscilla Kelly does have a match announcement already. She's going to be going one-on-one with Zachary Wentz. First time ever at Wrestling Revolver. That's happening June 14th.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, be able to watch on Triller. You know, it's only a month away.
Yeah.
So you've got that. Wrestling Revolver also announced Saturday, May 31st, Myron Reed versus Dante Leon.
Oh, nice.
Which should be a very fun match.
Oh, yeah. Both those guys are incredibly talented in the ring.
Priscilla Kelly also announced for, like we said, the GCW July 11th show, Boss of All Bosses. You know,
Hell's favorite. She's Hell's favorite.
Yeah, Boss of All Bosses. You know
who's the boss of all bosses? Spencer Love.
Yeah, he is. Priscilla was announced for that. Elena Black also announced for that July 11th show.
Ooh, I wonder if they would wrestle each other or if they're gonna have set. Which that would be cool, but I'd also like to see them maybe wrestle separate and get more women's matches on the card.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer them to each have their own singles match. Elena Black also announced for Black Label Pro June 14th.
I did see that, and I was like,
You gonna go?
I've got to look at the baseball schedule and see if I could pull it off. If I could get to if the games and everything makes sense, then yes, I will try to go. But if it's all about it's baseball season right now, and I coach, so if I miss some shows, I miss some shows. But I will definitely watch it for sure.
West Coast Pro, they've been announcing names. They've got Mad Dog Connolly coming to their June 1st show. And this match also announced Kevin Blackwood versus Shane Haste. I saw this match announcement and it gave me big time PWG vibes for some of the like fun creative matches they would always have. That's the kind of vibe I got with this one, and I'm very much into it. Liking what Shane Haste has been doing, and Kevin Blackwood always incredibly solid. So I'm really hyped for this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dude, they're putting on good shows out there. I know the West Coast shows are tough for us East Coast folk with the time, but if you get a chance to check them out, it's a good time.
And we are getting more matches announced for the Dean show, Dean 2. You will see Rhino versus Manders.
That's what they were talking about last night. Somebody mentioned Dean show, and I was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, we started showing off some of the matches last week.
I forgot all about it.
So you got Rhino Manders and Lee Moriarty versus Matt Mako.
Yeah, my dude Matt Mako
for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship too. So hell yeah,
give him the win. Let's go. Let's do it.
So next week we will be doing the LPW preview show. We will try to slide in a short preview for this show as well.
Ooh, we're gonna get fancy.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to do both. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. So that looks like it's it for tidbits.
Tidbits. Beep boop bop. Tidbits.
GCW.
I can't tell if you're vibing or twitching at my sound of my voice.
I was vibing. I was like, I'm just waiting.
Couldn't tell. Oh, and then we got a GCW. By the way, the GCW hashtag for the Maryland show is GCW Big. I don't understand it. I didn't quite get it. But whatever. I know they're like GCW Maryland or something.
The show tonight, stacked. The show tomorrow night, even better.
Oh, I know. Tomorrow night's card is bonkers.
Because tell me that Billy Starks versus Mayu Yamashita isn't just going to be an absolute fucking banger.
Oh, Oh, it is gonna bang, and it's at 5 p.m., which is perfect.
So that's 5 p.m. New York time. Oh, that's 4 p.m. normal people time. Hell yeah.
Normal people time.
Central time.
That's normal people time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a new one. I think that's Eastern time zones. Even though I'm more Midwest than Eastern, I don't know why I'm on the border.
Yeah.
Because if you drive if you drive 45 minutes this way, almost I run into the time change.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I'm like really close to it. So
it's a Midwest swing. Oh,
there should be a Midwest time zone. I'm
surprised there's not. Billy Starks versus Mighty Yamashita. They've wrestled before. Great match. No doubt that tomorrow night it'll be more of the same.
Oh yeah.
I know this next one is probably the match you're most looking forward to. Jonathan Gresham versus Jimmy Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Broski Jimmy, Jonathan Gresham. It's not Broski Jimmy anymore. I misspoke. He's no longer a Broski, but Jimmy Lloyd's sneaky good, man. He'll hold his own with Jonathan Gresham. That's going to be one of those matches where you kind of look at Jimmy Lloyd and you go, hey, all right, this dude can go if you're not familiar with him.
Yeah, like obviously Jimmy's going to rise to the occasion. He always does. But at first glance, you see it, you're like, huh.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with GCW, you'd look at it and you go, that's definitely an easy win for Gresham. I don't think it's going to be an easy win for Gresham.
No, it'll be a good matchup. All right. We've got Matt Tremont versus Mance Warner.
Interesting. Now, this is in Rochester, New York, not New York City. Can there be blood in Rochester, New York? Because I feel like
that there will be blood.
Yeah, because these two, that's what those guys do. Because I remember when I watched my first GCW New York show, I was like, where's all the violence? This is weird. Like, this is like straight up wrestling match. I realized the New York State Wrestling Commission didn't allow that type of matches in certain city limits. So I wonder if Rochester's part of that. We'll find out.
Hopefully not, because, I want chaos. I want violence. And you will get that with these two.
And I want to rock.
I want to rock.
Woo!
I want to rock.
We're like Beavis and Butthead today.
We are. We're just rocking out.
We're just singing. This is become a karaoke podcast with a little wrestling sprinkled in.
Okay. Do we see a new JCW World Champion tomorrow night as Masha Slamovich defends her championship against Atticus Cogar?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I am going to say, I want to say yes. And we talk about it. Masha's at the point now where anytime she could lose this, that she's had it for so long. But she always finds a way to get it done. But Atticus Cogar right now is doing some really, really great things. And I think you could transition smoothly into an Atticus Cogar JCW championship reign. And he could do some really fun things with that title. Oh, but I don't like picking against Masha Slamovich.
Yeah.
So I'm like copping out my answer. I could absolutely see it. If I was a betting man, I would say this is 60-40 Masha right now.
60-40. Okay.
That's how much I've invested myself into the Atticus Cogar run that he's on right now, because I think he could be the one that does it, but it is Masha.
Yeah, when you see what Cogar's done leading up to this, the feuds he's had, the matches, like, it's completely believable that they could give him a GCW title run.
Yeah.
Coming off the matches with Fuego, before that, the Janela Megasis, Megan Bain feud. So, like, to me, why not? Why not have Cogar win?
Because it's Masha and she's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah! So
we'll see. But she's been playing with fire the last few title defenses because they just keep stacking them up on her. So we'll see. Hey, it's Mrs. Pluggo.
What up?
I am live. I was saying hi to Mrs. Pluggo.
Hi.
I've got her hand today.
Keeping the dogs covered. It's the hands today.
That's right. That's right. If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Exactly. Come on. We mentioned Fuego.
Yep.
KJ Orso, the former Fuego del Sol, is going to be addressing his shocking actions.
Oh yeah. So that's been a fun little. I didn't expect them to go that route when he got demasked, and then he turns on his friend Sam Stackhouse, and now he's going to talk about it.
How could you turn on a friend like Sam Stackhouse?
Yeah, Fuego. I'm not going to call you KJ Orso. I'm going to call you Fuego del Mean Guy. That's not great. I'll come up with something better by next.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, they're not all hits, man. I can't. Nobody bats 1,000, dude. Nobody wins all the games, but you miss 100% of the shots you do not take.
Michael Scott.
That's sure, yeah. I'm just saying. So you got to shoot the shot somewhere. We'll figure it out. KJ,
so
get out of here.
We're going to hear from KJ Orso. Also, we've got Alec Price and Jordan Oliver defending against the High Seas. Big fans of the High Seas. Only seen a few matches, but I love what I've seen.
That's if they win on Saturday.
That's true.
Bang and Matthews could be the GCW Tag Champions by then.
Hey, I would also be into that match too.
We've talked about that 1,000 times. They should absolutely, that should be the graphic for their back-to-back show night. They should be like, it could be this team or this team. And it would be a nice little wrinkle for them.
Yeah.
Because what's the harm of putting Bang and Matthews on that and going, winner of Bang and Matthews and Jordan Oliver and Alec Price take on High Seas on Sunday? Like, what's the harm in doing that, even if you know you're not, Bang and Matthews might not win, so they're not going to be there. Like, what would be the harm in that?
Yeah, I think you would get more, like, obviously it's just another storyline wrinkle to everything, but it does add more to it. It adds more to the stakes and more to the thought of like, hey, okay, this team could actually win.
Well, and it just kind of it takes GCW, I think, to another level where it's like, you do these sometimes 3 shows in a weekend, and you tell more stories than some independent wrestling companies do. You're more than just like an indie that puts on a show once a month. This way, you kind of leave that seed of doubt for the fans to kind of like, oh, it could be this, it could be that. And it just creates a little bit more chatter, in my opinion.
You could even have it as like, hey, if Bang and Matthews win, sure, they may have a show scheduled in, Kentucky tomorrow night, but due to contractual obligations, they will have to defend the titles. Add more to it. Why not?
Yeah, those little things always set them apart. So we'll see. Maybe they'll hear our cries. Brett, maybe he'll phone it in. Or hone it in. I don't know.
Because Bang and Matthews are even on this show. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's right. They are on the show. So they could be the GCW Tag Team Champions taking on To Infinity and Beyond instead. See? Maybe, but they'll probably talk about it during the match. I just would be one of those things. Put it on the poster.
Mm-hmm. I agree, my friend. I agree.
Somebody's getting a World Championship Tag Team title shot on Saturday. That's all I know.
Somebody's going to get a title shot, and somebody's also going to get a beating, and that person being Richard Holiday as he steps foot in the ring with Megan Bayne. Hell yeah. Fucking love Megan Bayne. Just an incredible wrestler.
Oh, she's easily become one of my favorite wrestlers. Breakout stars of 2025. She's been hitting on all cylinders. And listen, you may not love Richard Holiday and the antics and the things that he's doing, but he is having a really fun 2025. And this iteration of him has been entertaining, but he's running into the mega says he's about to get a beat down.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, he is.
She's about to knock that mustache off your face, Richard. Oh, just kidding. Love you, Richard. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up.
Beat him up. Beat him up. Beat him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get smacked if I ever run into Richard Holiday. He's gonna smack the mustache off my face, and then I'm gonna have a beard with no mustache. So we have a really awkward chin strap thing.
Yeah, we're just gonna start calling you Chin Strap.
Chin Strap Magoo.
Sup, Chin Strap?
I'll be like, hey.
I always like when people will like call someone a nickname because of like, like they're wearing like slacks, and they'll be like, sup slacks, sup trousers, like something stupid like that. Love the nicknames like that.
Oh, what's up, little trouser?
Yeah. Sup, chin strap. Sup, shades.
Who do you know that gets called Trouser?
I don't know, but I'm going to call someone trousers.
Yeah, one of your new buddies. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you a story when we go off air about about something like that. But I can't put it out into the public. So,
Okay.
Last but not least, we talked about how tonight Manders was facing off against Gresham.
Mm-hmm.
And saying how, like, yeah, it'd be great seeing him get elevated back up to that main event scene. Well, tomorrow night, he's going to be facing off against Effie for the GCW World Championship.
Yeah, so he's back in the mix with Effie.
Mm-hmm.
Little friendly. They're not at odds or anything, so it might be one of those friendly little bouts. And maybe Effie's doing this as like, hey, thanks for all your help with the Mance stuff. But hey, that'll be a good time.
Let's have a little treat, you know. So,
maybe he turns on Effie. Who knows? It's a wild card sometimes.
He is. So that is the GCW shows. Coming up also, we have Wrestling Revolver. We will see at Wrestling Revolver. This is happening tonight also. It'll be up on Triller TV. Gringo Loco versus Rich Swann.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah, big fan of Gringo Loco.
Oh, yeah.
Doing. Yeah.
He's also a very nice guy.
Very nice. Very nice. You know, just you can chat with the guy. He's just someone who loves wrestling, you know?
Just like we do. We love
just
wrestling.
like we do. We love wrestling.
You're at Love Wrestling.
Love wrestling.
We love wrestling.
Speaking of which, make sure you throw a like or a subscription.
Yeah.
Maybe you would also like to sign up for the Love Wrestling Patreon.
Ooh. Yeah.
Very affordable. Incredible content up there.
I'm on there.
Yeah.
You're on there.
I am. So just
we're all over the place.
All over.
Over.
We're
over Femi. All over Femi. Get it? Oh, anyway.
Remix title match: Crash Jackson versus Jake Christ.
Yes, sir. That'll be a fun one. That's a good one.
JJ Garrett and Latino's Most Wanted versus Dante Leon and Tie or Die.
Nice. We just talked a little bit about Dante Leon earlier. JJ Garrett's super fun. I like this match. It's gonna be a good time.
Mm-hmm. I'm big into this.
Big into it. Triple threat. Or no, trios. Sorry, triple threat. Trios match. I need to start learning that stuff. I don't know how to read.
Rhino's returning.
Rhino's been making the run, man.
You may see some of the. I misspoke earlier because it said here Saturday, May 17th. There was an issue with the venue. It did get pushed to May 18th. So just to clarify, it is Sunday, May 18th.
Okay.
Don't be tuning in tonight after the GCW.
Well, there goes by evening. Thanks, dude.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Maybe this will cheer you up.
Rhino's been making a run. Ace Austin versus Damian Chambers. That will cheer me up.
Yeah, see?
These eyes are bugging me out.
Yeah, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit.
Definitely like
because there's nothing back there.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I love me a good Wrestling Revolver show. These graphics are giving me the willies, as they say.
Oh, yeah, big time. Steve Macklin versus Matthew Palmer in a Pick Your Poison match.
Look at Macklin's teeth.
Check out those veneers.
That's it, I know.
Those choppers.
Macklin got work done.
Yeah. Help.
Matthew Palmer. I enjoy a little Matthew Palmer action in Wrestling Revolvers. So, and then Macklin is always like at the top there, killing it. So that'll be a good little matchup. I'm excited. This card's sneaky good right now. If there's more to it, I don't know if you have any more, but it looks good.
There's one more.
Ooh, bang.
A 4-corner mayhem match with Trey Miguel, Jeffrey John, Junie Underwood, and Dick Myers.
See now, Dick Myers was smart. He put those sunglasses on so he wouldn't get that eye treatment.
Yeah. So,
he said, "You're not doing me like that."
Nope, not at all. All right. So that's the Wrestling Revolver show. That is happening tomorrow night. So you can do GCW, Wrestling Revolver. Your night is set.
Yeah, it's a good little Sunday night.
Yeah. If you're in Canada, you obviously have the Monday off. So, hey, you can stay up late.
What's Monday?
Victoria Day.
Who's Victoria?
Day. Very nice lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the day off on Monday.
You get the following weekend off for like President's Day or something.
No, Memorial Day is coming up, but
yeah,
I don't get the day off. I have to work. I was
day.
told I have to work that day.
So
I was like, really? That day? Come on.
We will do the Deadlock Pro show right away, but you know that here on For Exposure, we like to do Indie in a Minute, where we run through a show that is happening, you know, sometime coming up. I can't remember when this one is. We will tell you right away, but just so you know that it's going on, you can go check it out live. Maybe it'll be streaming somewhere or get put up on the YouTube, but just so you're aware of it, because we just love promoting independent wrestling.
Yes, sir.
So I'll find a graphic. Here we go. AAW tonight, May 17th at the Berwyn Eagles Club. Maggie Lee versus Shazza McKenzie for the AAW Women's Championship.
That's a good one.
You will also see Trevor Lee versus Rafael Quintero. Robert Ego Anthony versus Zico for the AAW Heritage Championship.
Love me some Zico. That's a good time.
Stallion Rogers versus Beef in a grudge match. Solomon Tupu is in action. Solomon Tupu, solid dude. And you will also see Hartenbauer versus Sean Logan in a Fans Bring the Weapons match. So that is happening AAW at the Berwyn Eagles Club. Tickets available at aawpro.com. If you're in the area, go check it out. Let us know how it is. Even if you're not going to that show, let us know about a show you're going to, you're checking out, maybe one you went to recently. We would love to hear it because we go to shows all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to a show this upcoming Friday. I'm calling it, but I'll still be there.
So. Berwyn Eagles Club's a nice little place to take you to show, too. I was there last year for a Black Label Pro. Lawrence is in the house, wants to know what you're wearing, Blair.
Well, Lawrence, you can speak when the Montreal Canadiens make the playoffs.
Oh, and then El Juggalo's in the house, wants to know who do you think is going to be in the JCW versus GCW 2-day war at Gathering of the Juggalos? I don't know yet. Effie might be there. He seems interested in that.
I can see that.
Feud. We'll see. That could be anybody at this point.
First off, also, I love you, Lawrence. I'm sorry. But I would love to see at the Gathering of the Juggalos some tie-ins. You did? Yeah, you did. Fuck. Well, talk to me when you make the second round.
Instantly backfired on him there.
Big time.
That's funny.
Damn it. Well, look, most likely the Maple Leafs will be joining the Habs as being eliminated from the playoffs after tomorrow night. But
is this to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, or is this to go to the Western Conference?
This
Finals?
Is to go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. Toronto's on the East Coast. Yes,
yeah.
It is.
Totally. So, with the JCW GCW show, I would love it if there was some tie-ins to, like, you know, people that the ICP had, like, some sort of, like, you know, storyline with, you know, previously. Like, if you could get Vampiro to show up there, I think that would be great because, you know, they did have that stuff in WCW.
I remember
something like that. Obviously, it's very limited, but to be able to tie that in, I think would be great.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. Great question. We're at 12 likes. Do we have 3 more in the mix?
Colt Cabana, I could see there.
Oh, boom, boom, Colt Cabana.
Yeah, because he did have quite the history with the ICP. So I think it was like Officer Cabana that he would do there. Something like that.
Maybe Slim Shady will be there.
Maybe like bring in the Great Muda. Come on, why not?
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure he'd unload that money truck, get the Great Muda, get Vampiro there. So, hell yeah, I'd be into that. Last but not least, Deadlock Pro. We're going to motor through this because we only have 5 minutes left. The show is happening tomorrow night, But don't worry, they put up their shows like a day later or a few days later or a week later.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about watching it live. But a national eliminator qualifying match, Kevin Blackwood versus BK Westbrook. You also see Anthony Everett versus Cedric Alexander.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cedric's out there doing his thing now.
Yeah, let's see what he's going to do. The Grizzled Young Vets versus Miracle Generation for the DPW World Tag Team Championships.
Love some Miracle Generation.
Yeah. In the graphic for Hyon, they did her dirty with this one. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But Hyon versus Maya World, I have talked big time about the match they had at the West Coast Pros Queen of the Indies last year. It was the match of the night and it was the opening match. Yep. So I have no doubt that they will run it back and have another great match.
Hells yeah.
You will also see Thomas Shire versus Mad Dog Connolly in a relaxed rules match.
I don't know if Mad Dog Connolly, like, that's anything relaxed. Even when the rules are relaxed, I think he's at high energy.
So you see that. And I would just like to hold on. You know, Vampiro's still active. We can do it. We can do it.
Do it.
Yeah. So, and Fernando's also pumped to see Cedric Alexander back. So, just want to get that out there. And last but not least, three-way match: Morgan Dash versus Bojack versus Manny Lowe.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Deadlock Pro. It is going to be a solid show. They always are. Deadlock Pro. I was talking to a guy at work, the summer staff. He's into wrestling, but he doesn't know lots. But he goes to one local indie show. He didn't even know that there was more than one in the city. That's how, like.
Oh, so you're his guy now.
So
I got you.
Not anymore, but he knew about one, and I just mentioned, podcasts and stuff. He's like, yeah, I listen to this one wrestling podcast, and then he's like, I also listen to Deadlock Pro's podcast. And I was surprised because there's so much wrestling podcasts out there, but that was the one he listened to. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Oh,
so
I
Deadlock
didn't even know they had one.
Yeah. So maybe check it out.
Yeah.
So I'll throw this up, Brothers of Funstruction. Hell yeah. I do like the idea of the Backseat Boys because it's the new Backseat Boys, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'd be into that.
So. Yeah, we'll see.
I've always wanted to go to, I'll say this, I've always wanted to go to Gathering of the Jugglers. I think it would be a lot of fun. You see just the interactions from the crowd and like everyone, it's a very much like a fun, friendly vibe there. So I want to check it out one day. I want to crush some Faygo and I want to go to Gathering of the Juggalos.
You enjoy that. Have fun with that.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, Jose Angel Lamas Ramirez giving us a cool emoji with a thumbs up. Thank you.
So that's going to be it for us this week.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. We made it.
Thank you to everyone in the chat. It was a lot of fun having you guys here. El Juggalo, thank you so much for the questions. So I appreciate that.
Thanks to everybody today. We had a lively bunch today at the top. David, Lawrence, El Juggalo, Bryce was in the house.
I think we might have
Boris was in the house.
We might have to preview that Gathering of the Juggalo show. Maybe we do it in ICP face paint.
You can do it in ICP.
We should do it.
You can do it in ICP.
Dude.
I will be Team GCW for that show.
No. We got to do it together.
Oh, buddy.
We're going to talk off air about this. We're going to talk off air. That's money right there.
Sure.
So,
I already took my shirt off on this stream. Now you're asking me to go to another level.
Hell yeah. You're on another level.
On another level. But we did it. I'll go ahead and kick off my plugs. Yes. I'm PLUGGO. You search PLUGGO. You'll see my face. I'm on all social media platforms. Thursday nights on this very channel with JPJ for Between Two Beards. We're going to be talking Double or Nothing next week. We just had the Foleys on, a Mick Foley punk-inspired band. They were a lot of fun. Check out the Foleys. Check out that episode. It was a good time. All my wrestling writing is up on lovewrestling.ca as well. And then For Exposure Pod on Twitter for this show here. Blair, take it away.
For me, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast on all podcast streaming platforms. Just dropped. Yes, Queen.
Stop.
You could get matching Hatchet Man tattoos.
Oh boy, this is getting off. El Juggalo, look what you've started.
Thank you, El Juggalo. I hope you join us next week. In all honesty, thank you so much. Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, all podcast streaming platforms, all social media. Just check it out. Dropped a podcast with Maria Belmont, who wrestles out in Quebec. That came out last week, so check it out. That's going to be it for us this week. I'm just going to get to the outro video. Thank you so much for joining us here.
You guys, awesome time.
Whoop whoop. Peace in the streets.